When looking closely at the geology of our planet, you will find a physical borderline. Below this tiny strip of clay, Earth belongs to the dinosaurs. There, you'll find thousands of fossilized bones, teeth, and footprints. Above this line, they completely disappear. For approximately 175 million years, give or take, their dominance was absolute. Dinosaurs were not a fragile group of animals waiting to fail. They were highly adapted, resilient organisms operating at the peak of their evolutionary power. They ruled every continent, adapted to every climate, and filled every available ecological niche. Their empire was permanent, until a mountain fell out of the sky. In the blink of an eye, this cosmic intruder shattered the Mesozoic world, triggering the KPG mass extinction event. For generations, the sudden disappearance remained geology's most frustrating cold case. This is the story of how the sky caught fire and how a team of rogue scientists decoded a half-inch line in the dirt to solve a 66-million-year-old planetary murder mystery. When the rock made contact with the shallow sea of the Yucatan Peninsula, it didn't just cause an explosion. It punched a hole straight through the Earth's crust. The impact unleashed the energy of 100 million megatons of TNT. That is 2 million times more powerful than any nuclear weapon ever built. The asteroid itself, along with trillions of tons of bedrock, vanished into a cloud of superheated vapor. Anything within a 1,000-mile radius was vaporized or incinerated in seconds by the blinding wall of heat. But the true horror wasn't local, it was global. The debris blasted into orbit didn't stay there. As billions of tons of vaporized rock fell back through the atmosphere, the friction generated unimaginable kinetic heat. The air itself became a literal broiler oven. The global sky ignited, sparking wildfires worldwide that turned entire continents into ash. As the fire suffocated, a pitch-black silence blackened the planet. The vaporized bedrock contained vast deposits of sulfur and hydrocarbons. Combined with the soot from the burning forests, this mixture formed a thick, impenetrable blanket in the upper atmosphere. It completely blocked out the sun. Earth was plunged into a brutal, multi-year impact winter. Without sunlight, temperatures plummeted. Photosynthesis stopped entirely. On land, the plants withered and died. In the oceans, the plankton food web collapsed. It was an ecological house of cards, and the asteroid pulled out the foundation. Herbivores starved to death in weeks. The apex predators that hunted them quickly followed. Every land animal larger than a domestic cat was systematically erased. In total, 75% of all living species vanished from the planet. For 66 million years, Earth kept this secret buried under layers of stone. The cold case finally broke in 1977. Geologist Walter Alvarez was examining rock layers in Gubbio, Italy, when he found that same half-inch layer of green-gray clay that I mentioned before. Below it, the rock was teeming with diverse Cretaceous marine fossils. Above it, those fossils were completely gone. Walter brought the sample to his father, Luis Alvarez. They used a highly sensitive physics technique that I am not qualified to explain to analyze the exact chemical makeup of the dirt. What they found altered scientific history. The clay was packed with an astronomical amount of iridium. On Earth's surface, iridium is practically non-existent because it sank to our planet's core at some point in the deep past. But it is incredibly common in asteroids. In 1980, the Alvarez team published a radical conclusion. A massive space rock had struck Earth, vaporized on impact, and settled around the globe to form a toxic iridium-rich boundary line. The scientific community revolted. For over a decade, geologists and paleontologists laughed at the Alvarez hypothesis, insisting that mass extinction was a slow, gradual process caused by ancient volcanoes. They demanded a smoking gun. If a mountain fell from space, where was the evidence? The answer had been sitting right under their noses. In the early 1990s, researchers dug up old geological surveys from oil geologists mapping the Gulf of Mexico. Buried beneath Nearly a mile of modern ocean sediment and rock was a colossal 112-mile wide crater. When scientists drilled into the heart of this crater, the stone told an illuminating story. They found shocked quartz, crystals physically deformed by pressure that only occurs during nuclear detonations or cosmic impacts. They found layers of chaotic tsunami debris hundreds of feet thick. The timeline matched. The science matched. The evidence matched. The case was closed. When the sun finally burned through the sulfur clouds years later, the planet was completely unrecognizable. The fossil record shows that hardy ferns were the first to colonize the barren ash-filled landscapes. But the true transformation happened among the survivors. With the dinosaurian monarchs completely erased, the global ecosystem was wide open. The tiny nocturnal mammals that had once spent 180 million years scurrying in the dark suddenly had room to breathe, to grow, and to diversify. The KPG extinction event proved that the history of life on Earth isn't just about the survival of the fittest. Sometimes it's about who can survive the unimaginable. Without that terrifying day 66 million years ago, the age of mammals never would have begun, and I wouldn't be here telling you the tale today.